Hey, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and in this week's video I'm going to take you on a ride along. Basically, I've got some parts to make, and I've had a few folks ask about how I do them, how I make these parts, how I get everything running, and I thought I would just go ahead and take you along on it. So from the beginning on this one, I've got prints and I've got a model for it. At some point I may show you some of those details, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm just going to take you step by step on what I've got to do. So I've already got everything programmed and ready to go. I'm going to make a couple of little tweaks, I think, and but otherwise, this is let's make some parts on the mill. Alright, so first step for me is I gotta set up the mill. You might be able to hear the phase converter running in the background. I'm using the mic and everything today, the wireless mic, trying to cut down on some of the background noise, so I hope it's gonna be okay. But yeah, whenever I'm running the mill, there's always a lot of background noise. We've got the air compressor running, the line dryer running, we've got the phase converter going. The brother's got a constant air purge of the spindle, so it's always trying to keep coolant and chips out of the spindle. So there's just a lot of noise. But we'll see what we can do on this one. So first step really is getting the tool set up. Oh, you know what? I need to get my face mill out of there because we're running aluminum. The last thing I was facing was steel. So let's get the tool out. I'll bring it over here to the bench and we'll get things started. All right. So this is my face mill. It's a 2-inch face mill. This is it's all Shar's brand. So this one says it's a 90 degree face mill, 2 by 3/4 inch AP 33-Z5-C. So it uses an APKT or AP style insert. It's also a Shar's brand holder that it's in. So BT30 FM 3/4 to 1.18 inch. Not really sure what all that is, but anyways. I like this one. It does really nice. The AP style inserts let me go up to a shoulder, so I can use this for roughing as well. I was just using steel, or I was cutting steel, so I have a set of inserts that I use for steel. I have a set of inserts that I use for aluminum. The aluminum is a little more polished, high rake, but this, I tell you, I see all these posts, making mirrors and stuff like that, and I will admit, they're pretty. Well, one thing that I do, whenever I pull the inserts out, I take a Sharpie and I mark the side that I used last. These inserts are still super sharp. There's no problem with it, so I'm going to put it back in there. But that's one way that I can always tell that I'm putting the inserts in the used side, right? So just a little Sharpie. You don't have to gronk down on this, right? It just get it snug, get it tight, so it's not going to loosen up on you. But guys, I see so many people over tightening their inserts, and you can actually crack the insert that way and break it. The screws have a taper on them, right? So as it goes in, it lines everything up, but you're also really you can put a lot of stress on that insert. So just be careful with that. Alright, so we will continue to do this. Get everything lined up clean. And one thing I'm doing, you guys can't see it from that angle, but because I'm right on top of this and I'm looking down the face of it, I'm doing a visual inspection to make sure there's nothing in there. I kind of wipe it down with my finger a little bit too. Your fingers are amazingly sensitive, and you can really tell when things are off. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before, but like you can feel if there's anything not lined up right. If you've got, I can sometimes tell just a couple of thou. I can feel my finger, or take your fingernail across something and it'll catch. But anyways, camera connection lost. Oh no! But it looks like it's still recording, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, we're almost done with this. And then we will load everything up. I'll show you how we load the tools in the Brother. That is one thing that I couldn't find online when I was when I first got this machine, and the directions weren't terribly clear in the manual. New manuals might be better, and if you're buying a new machine, they're going to show you how to do all these things, right? But I bought mine used, and so I wasn't really sure how to do it. I did find that, at least on my setup, the pocket before or after the tool does not have a lock on it that prevents you from putting something in or taking it out. But now that I see a little bit different way to load things more quickly, I think that's actually the way that the directions were trying to tell me in the first place. Alright, this is done. Sorry it took, to watch all this. I probably fast forwarded it, but who knows. Alright, I'll meet you back over at the mill. Alright, so I'm over here at the mill. We've got our tools set up. We've wiped everything down. You might be able to hear a little bit with the hissing. But basically, the way to do this is we're going to press the ATC retract button. We'll go back manual, sorry. We'll show our position just for yeah. So when we do the ATC button, the first thing it does is it locks and aligns the spindle. The next time I press it, it retracts. So every time I press the magazine, button, it's going to rotate. So now that it's there, I'm going to put each tool in. That one's in. I'll rotate to the next tool. And you want to make sure that you've got everything lined up when you do this. Right, that one's in. Rotate to the next tool. This is our chamfer mill, but we're using it as a spotting mill. Do the next tool. And our next tool. Get in there now, finally. Okay, and then when you bring it back down, it locks it. So I know that was probably really loud. That purge there does that every time. So at this point now, if I were to go into MDI and make a tool change, you'll see it should come up. Uh-oh, I'm getting that error again. Son of a gun. Alright, so got that adjusted again. There is a little sensor in here, an encoder, that tells it when things are lined up, and I just replaced it, and I realized I calibrated it going clockwise, but I never calibrated it for counterclockwise, so we're in good shape now. So that's the nice part, everything is lined up. So next step is to touch up all our tools. Now the Brother, it touches everything off from the table. So it uses the table as the reference point for the Z height. That threw me off so bad when I first started, because I was used to the Tormach or a Haas or something where I was just worked off of the top of the part. But once you know what you're doing, it's not that big a deal. So what we do, you'll see I have two 1, 2, 3 blocks creating a riser, and then I've got a 4-inch Edge Technology and tool setter. And so what I do for that is we'll bring it over I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. Maybe I don't know if it's worth showing you all this, but anyways, so you bring it over, right? So let me get closer to where I want to be. That looks pretty good. Mine, I've had to recalibrate once, so it's a little, mine points down instead of up. But anyways, so now we go to data bank, and we go to tool data. So we arrow down to tool data and press enter. Tool list, enter. Tool 1, the old offset was 2.9841. I'm going to use auto set. It knows to apply a 7-inch, and so we're going to 29881. So it's about 40 thou. Is that right? Is it 294? About 4 thou difference between those inserts. So we say yes, right? We'll end our edit mode. And then we can just ATC up, it returns it. We press ATC again, it comes up, press it again. I get my famous error, and I pull my hair out because this thing keeps going crazy on me. So anyways, I'm having all kinds of problems with it. Is it recording? Yes, it's recording. Okay. I'm having problems with everything. So anyways, I let it go up. I tell it to come back down. We come back here and we touch off the next tool. I really don't like that. I mean, it's gonna... I don't know if it's working or not. It looks like it'll be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this time, but I'm not gonna touch off from this right side anymore. It's definitely not ideal. Okay, so I bring it to 0. As you guys saw, data bank, tool data, tool lists, we're going to arrow over to 3 now. We do the auto set, applies my 7-inch offset, and I say yes. Now we should just rinse and repeat. Press the button, it returns, it retracts, it rotates, it comes down. We bring it back down in Z. Maybe what I'll do is I'll move my vise over a little bit so that I can. Frankly, I'm just a creature of habit. I do things the exact same way every single time. See it do the exact same thing every time. So now this time for tool 4, we arrow down to 4 because it goes across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The old tool offset was 3.2253. I don't know what was in tool 4. So we'll say offset, yeah, so it's a totally different number, 4.0192. Done. Last tool, and of course it's gonna fight me. On camera. 3, 4, 5 turns. I do not understand that, and this is really starting to frustrate the hell out of me. I just replaced a bunch of parts, and it's still failing. But I have parts to get made, so hopefully we're not going to have a problem with this. with not wanting to do tool changes during my program. Because otherwise I'm going to have to basically break up my program into a bunch of different pieces. Okay, there's our parts for this, our tools for this operation. I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, so I got two pieces of stock in here. I'm actually going to run this as G54, G55, so we should be able to run a little bit better than we had been. One thing that I definitely do, so I've got the Sarah jaws in today for right now. For up to, I'll probably pull these out and put some soft jaws in, but I really like the Sarah jaws for, you know, a holding stuff type. I'm also going to use the torque wrench. Let's get this set. Let's see. This doesn't need a heck of a lot of torque. I'm just going to set this down to, let's say 15 pounds. 15 pounds? 15 pounds is probably more than enough on this one. Okay. So, come in. I don't know. I'm going to take it up to 20. One thing that using the torque wrench, and this isn't an expensive one, this is a Harbor Freight model. The important part is that it's consistent. I do the exact same thing every single time, and that way my setups are right. I've got the Heimer in there. We'll go ahead and do two things. The first thing is when I change to the Heimer, I'm going to actually give it, I'm going to have it run to a certain height because it'll force the load of the length, the offset. So then I can pick up the top and be accurate. So let's see. First, we'll just come over to tool 14. That's my tool changer. I don't put anything, or sorry, not my tool changer. That's my Heimer. I don't put anything else in there. The Heimer normally stays in here. I just had everything out because I was working earlier. So MDI, what we do is, and I even have it written up here. This is my reminder, right? So G43, H14, G90, G0, and then some Z height. I'm going to say Z 4.0. Out of habit, I always turn my rapid traverse down just a little bit. Just, it gives me time to react. Okay, and it's whining at me saying the rapid traverse override is on, but once I'm done, I go back into manual mode, and when I bring my position up, I'll see that my Z has it set to 4.0 with my height offset for tool 14. And I've calibrated this thing in so that it's exactly at that 7-inch mark. So, now, I'll come in and we'll pick up G54. And you gotta be careful with this thing because it moves so fast too. Like, it would be really easy to quickly destroy some, destroy a tip in here. Alright. So, pick up X. Alright, so this is, yep. So we're good at an X. So now we do that same data bank, but now we're going to go to working tool 0 position, or working 0 position. Press enter, and you'll see you've got, I'm using my standard coordinates, so 54 through 59, but it does have an extended coordinates as well. So I'm going to say X. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm in X right now. I'm just going to say auto set. It's going to automatically set that for me. End mode. And if I go back to position, it's going to show me that now I'm at X0. Right? Repeat the process for Y. Alright, data bank. Working tool 0. Now I arrow down to Y for G54 and press auto set again. And now if I look at my position, I'm at X 141 because I moved over, and I'm at Y. I'm also at Z, it says 7.783, but we know that's not right. So let's fix that. We bring our probe up, and we'll pick up Z. And then we're going to make a slight change, because in my work coordinate system, I'm picking up off the stop, but, right, so there's Z0. But on my model, my programming, I'm taking it off the model position, so I need to make some offsets. So, working tool 0 again, now we'll come in and do Z, auto set, and it's right. So now I'm at, I've got my Z height. So I'm gonna retract it. So I press the ATC and it'll pull it back up, right? But now I'm gonna tell it in MDI, or actually I'm not gonna use MDI. I'm just gonna use, because I'm almost there right now. So X, I wanna go into 150. So I did an offset of 150 in both directions, right? So there's 150, and in Y, ooh, I'm going intense. Doing this the long way for fun, because sometimes you need to have a little fun. So when I go to X 150, Y minus 150, that's the actual 0 for that part. So I'll just go into data bank, working tool again, and I'm going to say auto set. I'm going to automatically in X, so auto set yes. I'll do it again, auto set Y, and then I'll end. And if I look at my program, it now tells me that I'm at X0, Y0, Z, or sorry, when I look at my DRO, not program, Z is telling me I'm at like 4.8 something because I'm up in the air. I'm going to repeat this process for G55 over here, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got everything set up. Now it's time for us to do our first test run on this. So first thing we do is we come over to memory and we'll load our program. Now I'm drip feeding, right? So I've got everything on my USB. So when I do load program, it came up and it's telling me that it's my program number, belt cap 2 up, so that's right. It shows me the tools I'm expecting, so that's good. I'm still a little concerned about making sure that I've got my heights right, things like that. So what I'll typically do is I'll turn my feed rate override down to 0. And my rapid traverse I'll turn to like, well, what was that? So 75%, I guess, 50%. And then I'll go ahead and run this part. So most times what I'll do is I'll turn the coolant off for now as it comes down. I want to check to make sure that it's at about the right height. And then if one of the tools is at the right height, they all should be at the right height. So I'll go ahead and start letting it run, cycle through. I'll also just kind of ease into the cutting. So let's close it up. You're not really going to be able to see anything on this. Maybe I'll see if I can get the other camera plugged in real quick, and we'll see if I can get some in-shot video. Now we'll just take a look. Do have to make a change. I realized that I had put the I didn't tick the box to have the code minimize tool changes, so I did all G54 then all G55, but yeah, it looks right. I need to take some measurements, make sure that I'm in spec on that, but overall, remember I was talking earlier about being able to feel a line? I can just barely feel that line on that. I might want to change how I do my, and this might be because I didn't have the coolant on for all of it. I might want to change that a little bit or slow it down. Yeah, I'm going to slow that down. I think it's the speed. Okay, so a couple of little changes to make, but then I'm ready to start running these parts. So we're in good shape. All right, so you know I'm still fighting some issues with the mill, but overall parts are running okay. You can see I've actually moved my desk. There's actually really big changes happening around here. Once this job is done, I will actually move the mill and the lathe around. The 440 is gone. That shipped out a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot going on right now. Yeah, I got the tank for the C10 sitting here, getting ready to do some work on the truck. But things are going all right. But now that I've got this job going, I've got to keep staying on that. I apologize for not getting as many videos out lately. A lot of it's just because I'm just this busy. But in general, things are good. So anyways, I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'm still here, still knocking it out. And I really appreciate everybody's support. So see you again real soon. Take care.